Today we're talking about a man whose speed just seems to defy physics. A man who kind of proved that a human can, in fact, run like a cheetah. We are breaking down the absolute legend of Usain Bolt.
I mean, when you watch Usain Bolt on the track, it's just pure poetry, right? Those long, powerful strides, that super relaxed expression on his face. It just looks so effortless, like he was literally born to fly.
But that's the real question here, isn't it? Because behind that incredible illusion of ease, there's a story of some serious hardship and just relentless, grueling effort.
To really understand the champion, we've got to go all the way back to the beginning. Back to this tiny village in Jamaica, which is a world away from the bright lights and roaring crowds of an Olympic stadium.
And this is where the story gets really interesting. You've got this global icon on one side, 3 Olympics, 8 gold medals, a world record holder. And then on the other side, a child who grew up with no electricity, barely any drinking water, and in extreme poverty. So how do you get from one to the other?
Well, that journey from a small village to the absolute top of the podium, that wasn't a journey he took alone. A huge piece of the answer lies with one man, his coach, Glenn Mills.
And Bolt is super clear about this. He credits his coach, Glenn Mills, for taking him from this raw, kind of stumbling talent and actually molding him into the champion that we all know today.
This quote right here, this really gets to the very heart of Coach Mills' philosophy. It was never about being perfect or trying to avoid failure. Nope, it was about embracing every single loss, big or small, as a lesson on the path to victory.
So what did that actually look like in practice? Well, after a race, it didn't matter how well Bolt ran. Mills would never just say, "Hey, great job." He would always find some tiny flaw, some small detail that could be improved, just constantly pushing Bolt to be better. Every single race, win or lose, was a chance to learn something.
And this whole philosophy, man, it faced its ultimate test really early in his career. At the 2004 Athens Olympics, a bad knee injury forced him out before he even got a chance to compete. For a lot of athletes, that would be a career-ending blow. But for Bolt, he remembered what his coach said. This was a small loss. So he treated it not as a failure, but as a lesson, and he immediately started training for the next Olympics.
But look, a great coach and a powerful philosophy can only take you so far. The athlete, they have to internalize all of it. They have to actually develop the mindset of a true champion.
And here's the thing, Bolt is so honest about the grind. He admits he'd wake up some mornings just dreading the tough training sessions ahead. He says the training is way harder than the race itself. But, and this is the key, he never missed a session. His discipline was just absolute.
And it was that relentless dedication to the hard part, to the grueling, unseen work and training, that allowed him to completely dominate his sport for an incredible 9 years. That kind of longevity, that does not happen by accident.
His mental game was just as strong. He explains that when he's on the track, even if the runner next to him is technically better, he never thinks about losing. Instead, he just flips the script. He thinks, you know what, maybe today is a bad day for my opponent. I can still win. He always keeps his mind positive, always looking for that path to victory. Okay, now for some of the really fun details that make the legend of Usain Bolt so memorable. The things that add all the color to the black and white stats of his wins.
So let's go back to the 2008 Beijing Olympics. This is where Bolt didn't just win, he absolutely shattered the 100-meter world record with a jaw-dropping time of 9.69 seconds.
But here's the mind-blowing part. He did it with his shoelaces completely untied. Yeah. A study by the University of Oslo later calculated that if his laces had been tied, he could have run as fast as 9.60 seconds. He broke the world record while basically leaving time on the table. This really shows you the personality behind the athlete. I mean, we all know that iconic victory pose, but what a lot of people don't know is that his first love wasn't track at all. It was cricket. He only started running because his cricket coach told him to. And he still thinks that if he hadn't become a sprinter, he would have been a world-class fast bowler.
So ultimately, Bolt's story isn't just about athletic greatness. It's this incredibly powerful lesson. Behind every victory that looks easy, there is a mountain of difficult training, a deep resilience to overcome setbacks, and a mindset that just refuses to lose. Which leaves us with one final thought. We're all training for something. So, what's your race?